I wanted to tell a story about falling in love because I think whatever age you lived in, whether it's contemporary or 1763 or Roman times or sometime in the future, we all feel the same. We all have the same frame of reference, even if the things that influence us change over the centuries. So I was interested in the idea of somebody getting hold of happiness, which was denied to her up till then, but having very limited means of interpreting what was happening in her world and how things happened and what mattered to her. So just to get inside the skin of somebody who lived like we did, but was wearing different clothes and had different buildings to look at, fascinated me. I chose 1763 because nothing much happened that year. I was writing about such a strong event in this young girl's life that I didn't want at the end of it everybody saying, but why wasn't she upset about the battle or the death of the king? So I chose a time when London was fairly peaceful. The new king was on the throne, everybody was happy with him, there were no great religious contentions. It was a time of exploration, but it was all forward-thinking rather than restrictive. And as I say, it was a good background for Anne's very vibrant story. One of my characters is a butcher's apprentice. Goodness knows why I chose that. I suppose I'm fascinated by those sort of professions that haven't changed over the years. Butchery is butchery. There's only so many ways you can cut up animals. So whatever he was doing then, people will recognise on the page now. And I didn't know much about it. So I wrote to the Worshipful Company of Butchers, which is not very far away from Smithfield, where we're sitting now. And they threw open their little library to me. And although the library didn't have the specific answers to all the questions I had, I found so much else out there. I think it's on the page, it's certainly in my head if it's not. The tips I give to aspiring writers are absolutely and squarely aimed at me, because I am that aspiring writer. Not that long ago, I was not published. So I would say to myself, and to anybody else who thinks this advice is useful, just get on with it. Because I put so many barriers in the way. I thought I would need a different place to write, maybe different clothes, that I wouldn't be able to see my friends, that I would have to somehow shapeshift. And actually, you just have to do it. So that's my main tip. I really admire writers who spring out of bed, get to their desks at 6 in the morning, write 1,000 words, and then carry on with the rest of the day. I did set myself a daily target, but I fitted it in around everything else. After all, I've got 3 children, 3 grandchildren. I'm getting on now, so I've got plenty of friends to see. And I didn't kind of want to give up on all of that, because I knew if I did, that the book would become something different. And actually, it was writing itself in my head the whole time. But I did get a time towards the end of writing it where I had to get away, which I hadn't expected to want to do. But thank you, Whitstable, because Whitstable and I finished the book. The experience of writing The Butcher's Hook was exhilarating. I have done a lot of improvising as an actress, and the whole process became a character with a pen. It's written in the first person anyway, so I became Anne, and it wasn't until the book was finished, in fact quite a long time after it was finished, that I realised that of course I would not be asked in any other way to be a 19-year-old woman. But it never occurred to me when I was writing her that it was a problem, because I was 19 and I have been in love and I know exactly what she was going through, although I wouldn't go as far as she did with some of her methods.